I'm sorry. I know it's late, but this is a really special order. This woman turns up out of the blue. Her florist has let her down big time, and she's got this really important due tomorrow. And money, she says, is no object. So I tell her, if you're asking me to work Saturday night to dig you out of the fertilizer, it better not be.
I could come over and help. Dad's cooking one of his specials. I could bring some over for you.
Oh, thank you, darling. But I think I've got everything I need. And you know me, if somebody's here, I'll be rabbiting instead of working. And believe me, my darling, tonight, rabbits and flowers do not go.
I'll keep someone on low heat.
There's somebody at the door. Oh, I hope it's not a client. I'm nowhere near done. We'll see you later. Love you. Don't wait up.
She says not to wait up.
Oh, sorry. I haven't quite finished yet. You're very welcome to take a seat. Cup of tea?
That won't be necessary.
I think this is as we agreed. Oh, yes. What an unusual name.
Wormwood. Mrs. Wormwood. Sleep well. The time of man is over. Hello, Luke.
It was a nightmare, that's all.
But it seems so real. She spoke to me. She said, "Hello, Luke."
But I didn't name you Luke until after the Bane were destroyed. Mrs. Wormwood along with them. It was just a dream.
But I don't dream. Never have.
Ronnie!
My mum. She's disappeared.
Thank you for coming over. But I don't know what you can do.
What have the police said?
Has anything like this ever happened before? Is she on medication? Did we have a row?
Mum wouldn't just leave the shop. She didn't even take her van.
Why was she there so late?
She had a rush order.
And there were no signs of a struggle at the shop.
There were flowers all over the floor.
I wish I could save you and your father always worried. All I know is that people do disappear all the time and then come back safe and sound.
But we know the world isn't as safe as that.
You mean you think she's been taken by aliens?
There's no reason to suppose anything like that.
What about what happened with Mr. Truman? She walked off then.
Ronnie, there's really no evidence.
You could use Mr. Smith, couldn't you? He could look for Mum or something.
I'll do what I can. But first, I'd like to take a look at the shop.
I got the message. Geeza's disappeared. Ronnie must be going off her head. Is it aliens?
If there has been an alien here in the last 24 hours, it would have left an energy trace. Oh, no.
Aliens?
Yes. The trace is too weak to identify the species.
It's the Bane. What? The shape-shifty squiddy things that made you.
How could you know that?
Mrs. Wormwood.
Mr. Smith, I need you.
Yes, Sarah Jane. You appear to be in something of a hurry.
Ronnie's mother has been kidnapped by the Bane, and I think Mrs. Wormwood left this for me to find.
An intentional clue?
Or maybe it's a red herring.
The Bane are not usually the perpetrators of intrigue. Their purpose in visiting a planet is rather more fundamental. To feed.
That's what worries me. Mrs. Wormwood has set this up to get my attention. I'm betting there's some sort of clue on that cheque.
The cheque is for the Mercian Bank, but the sort code and account digits are not what they purport to be.
So what are they?
They form a tetric biaxial numeric code. Decipher it now.
It's an address.
It's an invitation.
So, what are we waiting for? Let's get my mum.
How long have you been there?
Long enough.
I'm going alone. If Mrs. Wormwood has gone to all this trouble, it won't just be for my company. She could be after you, Luke, and she's not going to have you.
I can look after myself.
All the same, you're staying here. And you've got to make sure that he does.
Yeah, sure.
No, this is my mum. No way you're leaving me behind.
All right, but this is dangerous. You do exactly as I say. The Bane are a cephalopod race who use shape-shifting technologies to infiltrate planets. Mrs. Wormwood led their invasion plans last time, but she and the other Bane serve the Bane Mother. They made this drink. Bubble shock. Sold it right across the country.
I remember that. It was foul.
Then you were one of the 2% unaffected. You were the reason they made Luke. Mrs. Wormwood needed to refine the formula, so she took samples from thousands of people and created the perfect human being, Luke.
Looks like you're right. She's expecting us.
Stay close behind me.
It's me! It's running!
No, I think she's all right. It's just some sort of induced trance.
I thought it would be better this way. Fewer witnesses.
Mrs. Wormwood. Still hiding out in factory units, I see.
Sarah Jane Smith. Still involving children in your dangerous games.
You kidnapped my mum.
Hello, Rani.
How'd you know my name?
Oh, I've been watching you. You're taller than your predecessor. How does she like America? I always said we should have launched Bubble Shock there. More cosmopolitan taste buds.
What do you want?
I want your help.
I beg your pardon?
Believe me, I take no pleasure in this, Miss Smith.
You're asking for help? After you kidnapped my mum and put her in a trance? You've got a funny way of saying please on your planet.
I didn't imagine that simply knocking on your door was an option. Oh, how is the archetype, by the way?
His name is Luke, and you stay away from him.
Oh, I have no interest in the boy. He was merely an experiment. A failed experiment, thanks to you.
Well, now he is my son, and I will protect him with my life.
Then you have no option but to help me.
Is that some sort of threat?
Your entire planet is under threat, Miss Smith. The entire galaxy.
Sarah Jane, there's something here!
It's a trap!
Oh no, it's me they're after!
They've got us trapped! Who are they?
I'm warning you!
You are an enemy of the Bane kindred. Surrender or be devoured.
Bane! They're Bane! I'll never surrender.